we are fundamentally ESG illiterate at this point in time. I would challenge any analyst or financier to assess the quality of a company when faced with a myriad of KPIs related to ESG and complementing all the usual financial KPIs that we're using. I think that we're just glancing at the page and we are totally unable to really figure out whether a company has quality operations from an ESG perspective or not. And that's a pretty big hurdle to what's going on and when it comes to assessing the work that's being done by leadership teams in the market around ESG. But I am absolutely convinced that if quality deserves a premium, and that is something that we can very well observe in the market, and if ESG drives quality, then ESG will drive a premium. Look, this is like E equals MC squared in the financial world.
Are investors already moving, though, just on an industry basis to reprice expectations around various businesses? I guess if you look at an EV company like the one we just saw listed in the United States, that suggests that investors are very excited about businesses that address some of the ESG challenges, whilst perhaps not so excited about owning a more traditional oil and gas company.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But when you say that, you focus on one of the two aspects of ESG, which is what a company does. And yes, if you're in EV or in wind power or the heat pumps, you're going to benefit from a higher growth profile than if you're in oil and gas or, in steam turbines. I think what we're missing is the ability to answer with confidence to the other question related to ESG, which is how a company runs its operations, how sustainable that is. And this is where we tend to get lost. And when I say we are illiterate, this is really when it comes to that second question. So imagine that EV battery company. I don't want to talk about it specifically, but you take any company which is seen as benefiting from climate change. Well, what if it doesn't pay its employees in a fair way and deals with strikes all the time? What if its energy and water intensity is off the chart? What if there is no diversity and inclusion being taken into consideration by its management team? What if there's employee turnover? What if, you can just go through a very long list of KPIs, which go directly to what a company, not what a company does, but how it does it. And then you need to assess the quality of these operations. This is the tricky part. Whether if you're an EV versus non-EV and you grow faster in EV versus non-EV, everybody's been doing this for years. We didn't wait for ESG to get there. The second question, how you do it. What is the risk inherent in the way you run your operations? That is the critical part. This is where we all have a lot to learn.
Laurent, so what I'm extracting here is that there's a big focus already on the what people do, what companies manufacture and goods and services, not the how. So that is huge. I think there's a very strong message. Does that mean then that there's already huge mispricing around ESG? Because it feels as though a lot of investors have strongly got into the what. So if you are in that very green economy, then you've seen the multiple expansion already without the how even being addressed here.
Well, it's a learning process. So I think we're getting only one side of ESG, which is around the what, and I think we're getting it pretty right. There might be some overshooting here and there potentially, but this is normal, financial market stuff. Really, the other side is around the how. Is there mispricing? I think we're just failing to truly appreciate what companies do on the operational side. And yes, I think it has the potential of leading to some mispricing. But again, we're going through a learning process here. This is all new to all of us. and to me too. And I'm just trying to learn faster than the others in order to be able to advise my clients. But we have so much to learn when it comes to the appreciation of what it means to have quality, sustainable operations.